first of all, I want to start off by looking at the big rectangle here. The big rectangle here, if you see, it's labeled reality. So everything inside this big rectangle is real. Okay? Outside the big rectangle, not real. Like unicorns, or whatever. Then we have a smaller rectangle. You see that? Smaller rectangle. This smaller rectangle is inside reality, so it's real, but it's also truth. So everything inside this smaller rectangle is real and true. It's a rectangle. I know. And then this segment out here, we have a segment that is real, but it's not inside the truth rectangle. So it's real, but not true. There are some things that are real and not true, and the best example I can think of is some of our feelings. Because all of our feelings are real, right? And that's a big deal. It's a big deal to realize that your feelings are real. You got to deal with them. You can't just say, oh, that's not real. I feel like a hamster today. Well, that's not real. I'm not going to deal with it. Well, it's real, actually, that you feel that way. It's a real feeling, and you got to deal with it. Now, it's not true, and so now you need to figure out what to do with a feeling that you have that's real and not true. This little thing right here changed mine and Becca's marriage. We were we didn't know where we were going to land. We didn't know if we were going to stay together or not. And HUD drew this little thing. My drawing is much better than HUD's. And HUD, if you ever see this, you're welcome to these charts, these PowerPoint. Just kidding. But I could show you. I feel like I'm almost blaspheming, speaking against HUD. That's not healthy. I need to process through that feeling. All of our feelings are real, so we got to deal with them. If you feel a certain way, you need to understand that feeling's real. You got to deal with it, but it may not be true. And so that does two things. First of all, it validates all your feelings. They're all real, and they're worthy to be dealt with. Second, it frees you from being forcibly controlled by your feelings because you know they may not be true. So you got to deal with it because it's real, and it's valid because it's real. But you don't have to be controlled by it because it's not true. Not necessarily true. So I need to analyze my real feelings to see if they're true. And even if they are true, analyze what's a healthy way to handle this true feeling. And just real quick, by the way, and I should have done a slide for this, but I didn't. There's a few different ways you can deal with your feelings. You can express your feelings. You can repress your feelings. You can suppress your feelings. Or you can confess your feelings. Express, repress, suppress, confess. HUD asked us what the healthy thing to do with our feelings is, and I said, express. You should express your feelings. But if your feeling is rage, not healthy to express that. If your feeling is lust, not healthy to express that. Nor is it healthy to repress, nor is it healthy to suppress, but to confess your feelings, to say, this is what I'm feeling, is healthy. Now, if you're feeling lust, you probably shouldn't go to the person you're lusting after and saying, I just need to confess this to you. Probably not healthy. There's a proper time, a proper place, a proper way to confess, but it's always healthy to confess it, at least to yourself, that you can know what you're feeling is so big. It's so big to understand what you're feeling. I'm feeling this way. And to confess it to God. God, I feel this way. And then open yourself up to history. So we need to deal with our feelings a healthy way. Even if they're true, we need to deal with them a healthy way. And so there's a verse, Psalm 4:4. That's a great way for us to process through our feelings. Psalm 4:4, and this is the NAV, the Nick Acker version. Psalm 4:4 says, quake with rage. You may have heard it, be angry and do not sin. The word be angry literally means to tremor. So quake with rage, but do not sin. Speak to your heart on your bed and be silent, or be still. So how do I deal with my real emotions when I know that some of them are not going to be true? Well, you speak to yourself in the privacy of your soul and lead your emotions to a place of wholeness. So what does that look like? Here's a fake example of a very possible day-to-day type of moment that Psalm 4:4ing yourself would help you to live and grow toward wholeness. And yes, we need to let Psalm 4:4 become a verb. You need to Psalm 4:4 yourself. Quake with rage, but do not sin. Speak to your heart on your bed and be still. So here's a fake life but realistic example. Okay? I'm quaking with rage. So I say to my heart, "Heart, why are you quaking with rage?" My heart says, "Because that guy cut me off in traffic. Then he smiled at me in the rearview mirror when he saw that I was upset." I say to my heart, "I understand that you just explained to me what happened just now, but you didn't actually answer my question. Why are you quaking with rage? You told me what happened, but you haven't answered the question of why you're quaking with rage." So my heart says, "He belittled me. He just told me that his wants were more important than my wants. Then he laughed at me, knowing I'd be mad about it. Essentially, he just told me that I'm nothing compared to him, and I'm angry that he considers me nothing, and I want to prove to him that I'm at least as important as he is, and probably more important." "Oh," I say to my heart, "who is this guy? Does his opinion change your identity? If he treats you like nothing, is he really a threat to your true identity?" My heart says, "No, but it was still really rude. And what he did was even somewhat dangerous for me and the other drivers around me. So I'm also mad that he put us in danger." I say, "So it sounds like a level of anger is probably warranted here. That's a true feeling in light of being put in danger and having someone be rude to us. But if he really challenged my identity with that smile, if he really enjoys being that rude to people, that's a huge problem for him. And the amount of energy his problem requires of me was met the moment he was a safe distance away from my car." My heart looks at me and smiles. We agree about the anger we felt. We did not sin. We understood why we felt this way, why we felt the way we felt, and so we high-five, which, as it turns out, was not a really good idea, since it temporarily put my heart into arrhythmia, because slapping your heart is not a good idea. But after a quick defibrillation, we joyfully go about our day. I got a snort out of that one. Some of you know you snorted too. It's okay. If you snort, just type right now. Just type "I snorted." We'll start a snort help group for us to process through why we snort in life. But it's not over. The example's not over. Later that night, I meditate on my day and I ask myself, why do I get so enraged when others belittle me? Anger's not the only possible response to being belittled. I could just feel super sad. I could stonewall and just shut off all emotions when people belittle me. Why do I respond to that with rage? Why do other people's opinions bother me at all? My heart reminds me about how I was bullied in elementary school and junior high, how I hated the feeling of helplessness, loneliness, and feeling like less than a person. It also reminded me that I learned in some areas of my life, perhaps through athletics or just being the youngest of 3 brothers trying to survive, that I learned to handle problems with aggression. So now, by practicing Psalm 4:4, by Psalm 4:4ing myself, I salvaged part of my day from being wasted in rage. I did not sin against myself or others, and I have come to a better understanding of myself that I can meditate on to continue growing in wholeness.